My dear soul, have you ever observed this? Have you ever looked within yourself in this deep silence? That the very moment you are at the peak of creation, the moment you feel you are enjoying life's greatest pleasure, at that very moment, you are also standing closest to death. You think this is just a physical act. You think it is a need of the body. Something you do to feel light. But do you really know what you call relief? What you call a few moments of pleasure? It is actually the essence of your own being, your own mind, your very core being squeezed and thrown out. Today I am going to talk to you about a science that hasn't fully arrived in the laboratories of science yet. But your seers, your mystics, thousands of years ago, saw it through their own inner vision. Science is amazed today. Modern medicine stands stunned before a fact that cannot be denied. And that fact is this: the white energy of your body, that seed which you flush away so easily, and that holy water flowing within your spine, that fluid. Why is their chemical structure, their composition, their very nature exactly the same? Nature never plays by coincidence. Nature does not play useless games. If she has made the semen and the brain fluid exactly the same, then there is a very deep secret hidden behind it. A secret that if you understand, you will begin the journey from being a human to becoming a god. And if you don't understand, then you will remain merely a machine. A machine that does nothing more than turn food into excrement. Just think, nature has kept your brain in the most secure vault, under the strong bones of the skull. And even there, it is not kept dry. Your brain, your mind, is floating in a special kind of liquid, floating in a special kind of water. Science may call it anything in its own language, but in the language of yoga, this is the somras. It is the same energy which, if it flows downwards, gives birth to life, and if it rises upwards, gives you a new birth. The problem is that no one ever told you where the treasure is within you. You are like a beggar standing outside with a bowl asking for happiness, while the chemistry that can make you an emperor is being created inside you. Today we will break this illusion. Today we will dive into the chemistry of the body, which is mandatory to understand for anyone who wants to live in awareness. What you call lust, what you call sex, is not just the meeting of two bodies. It is the result of your body's entire machinery, the hard work of every single cell. Have you ever wondered what happens to the food you eat? You eat food the body digests it. That food first becomes rasa. Then from that juice, blood is formed. The body cooks that blood further. It heats it up. Then flesh is formed. From flesh, marrow is formed. Fat is formed. Bones are formed. And when this entire process is complete, when the body puts in its full capacity, its full fire, then in the end, at the very last, the essence that comes out, the extract of this entire body becomes semen. This is not a single day's earning. It is months of penance. Understand this with an example. A farmer is standing in a sugarcane field. There are thousands of stalks. He cuts them all, puts them into the crusher. The juice that comes out after crushing those thousands of stalks is still very watery. Then he puts it in a large pot, heats it over the fire for hours. All the water evaporates. Only then a little bit of jaggery or sugar remains at the bottom. Semen is that sugar of your body, that final essence. And what are you doing? You take that essence, which every single cell of your body, every single fiber worked day and night to create, and you throw it away in a split second for a tiny little sliver of pleasure. And when you throw it away, you say, I feel so light. Listen, this is not lightness. This is emptiness. This is bankruptcy. You emptied your wallet and you feel the burden is gone. The burden didn't leave. You just lost your power. Now, a very deep point must be understood here. And listen to this very carefully, because this is the turning point where man often misses. There is a very deep connection between your semen and your nervous system. When modern science analyzed semen, when they looked under the microscope to see what is actually in there, they found the same elements that are found in the cells of your brain. Lecithin, phosphorus, and many such microproteins that are used only and only for the construction of the brain. Lecithin and phosphorus. Remember these two names. These are the elements that are the wires of your nerves. Just as there is copper in an electrical wire, there are these elements in your nerves through which you think, through which you feel, through which your memory is formed. It is all made of these elements. Now the math is very simple and very cruel. The body has a very limited store of phosphorus. Whatever you eat, the body can extract only a tiny bit of phosphorus from it. Now the body has only two choices. Either it gives that phosphorus, that precious chemical, to your brain so that your intellect becomes sharp, your memory becomes strong, so that there is a glow on your face, an aura. Or it collects that phosphorus and flushes it down in the form of semen. Most people, 99% of people, are on the second path. They are throwing their brain's foods out through their genitals. This is why you will find that as a person indulges more in lust, their intellect becomes dull. They can't remember things. A fog settles within them. The problem the youth of today is struggling with the most is brain fog, a mist in the mind. Everything is blurry. They can't take decisions. There is a massive lack of confidence. Anxiety over small things. Why? Because the engine needed petrol. But you spilled the petrol on the ground. Now you are pushing the car. Your brain is lying dry. The fluid, the liquid in which your brain should have been floating, its level has dropped. Understand it like this. There was a pond where lotuses bloomed. You opened the drain and let the water out. Now that there is no water, the lotuses will wither. They will rot. Your brain today has become like that dried up pond. You complain that you can't focus on studies. You complain that you can't meditate. How will you meditate? Meditation requires energy. Meditation is not just empty talk. Meditation requires a tremendous flow of energy that goes upwards, and you have no energy left. You discharge your battery every day, and then you expect the bulb to glow. The bulb cannot glow. The law of nature is very ruthless. She will not stop you. If you want to fall into a pit, gravity is ready to pull you down. Water always flows downwards. That is its nature. Semen, energy, also wants to flow downwards because there is a slope. It is easy to go there. Producing children is very easy. Flowing into lust is very easy. Animals are doing it. Birds are doing it. There is nothing special in it. But if you want to rise, you have to go against the law of gravity. You have to make the water climb up. And this is the science that separates a human from an animal. Observe the design of your body. The spine, the backbone of your body. It is not just a chain of bones that keeps you standing straight. It is a ladder. It is a ladder that goes from earth to heaven. And inside this ladder there is a path, a very fine channel through which energy can travel upwards. When semen is formed in the body and it is not used for reproduction, what does the body do? Does it let it rot? No. If the body is healthy and the flow of energy is right, a miracle happens. In yoga, this is called becoming urdhvareta. But before we talk about that miracle, you must understand your sickness more deeply. What you call love is often just lust. And lust means using another to scratch your own inner itch. When the ejaculation happens, when that energy leaves the body, the body receives a very big shock. You must have felt it. A deep sadness descends after that act. There is a Latin proverb, every animal is sad after coitus. Why? Because you lost a part of your life. You called your death a little closer. Ayurveda says clearly, Maranam bindu paten, Jivanam bindu dharanat, meaning the falling of the point, the loss of semen is death. And holding the point, raising it up is true life. This is not a moral teaching. I am not teaching you morality. I am not telling you that this is a sin. I don't speak the language of sin and virtue. I speak the language of science. I speak the language of cause and effect. If you put your hand in the fire, the hand will burn. It's not a sin, it's science. In the same way, if you keep flushing your life energy, your white blood, you will become bankrupt mentally, physically, and spiritually. The irritability you feel, the anger over small things, it is nothing else but the weakness of your nervous system. Your nerves have become weak because their food, that lecithin and phosphorus which gave them lubrication, you have already flushed it. Now dry nerves are rubbing against each other. Just like if there is no oil in a machine, it makes noise. It gets hot. In the same way, your brain is getting hot. You talk about depression. What is depression? It is energy being at a low level. When you have no energy, how will you bring enthusiasm? For enthusiasm, for joy, you need a fullness within. Look into the eyes of a yogi. Look into the eyes of a person who has mastered their energy. Their eyes will pull you like a magnet. You will feel good just sitting near them. Even if they don't speak, their presence will give you peace. Why? Because their bioelectricity circuits, the circuit of their life force is now complete. Their bulb is glowing with full brightness. And your bulb is flickering because there is no voltage. This water in the spine, which doctors call cerebrospinal fluid, this is the raw material with which your brain works. And semen is the concentrated form of this. When you save your semen, the body reabsorbs it. This is called reabsorption. It enters the blood again. But now it is no longer ordinary blood. Now it becomes Ojas. It becomes a subtle energy that directly nourishes your brain, your pineal gland, your third eye. But what is the situation today? Today man is living in fear. He thinks if he doesn't have sex, he will get some disease. He thinks if the semen doesn't come out, it will go to his head and make him crazy. These are all illusions spread by people who want to keep you weak. The market wants you to remain weak. Because if you are weak, only then will you buy their medicines and entertainment. But a powerful person An energetic person is not a slave to the market. He is his own master. You must understand that this body is a magnificent instrument. It has the power of transformation. Coal itself becomes a diamond. Chemically, there is no difference between coal and diamond. Both are carbon. The only difference is that coal is raw and a diamond is that which has matured under great pressure and great heat. Semen is your coal. If it falls down, it will turn into ash. But if it is cooked in the fire of penance, the fire of awareness, and rises up through the spine, then this very thing becomes a diamond. This becomes the nectar, the amrit. In ancient times, the sages called it amrit. They said that within the head, nectar drips from above the palate. People think this is poetry. It is not poetry. It is a profound truth of human physiology. When your sexual energy fully reaches the brain, the glands there release a special kind of secretion. That secretion is so blissful, so intoxicating, that the pleasure of alcohol, drugs, or sex pales before it. The saints called it Ram Ras. They called it Amrit. And you are dying of thirst at the shore of the ocean of nectar. You have struck your own feet with an axe. And the funny thing is, you consider striking the axe as the joy of life. Until you correct this fundamental mistake, no meditation, no worship, no prayer will ever work. Because even to pray you need awareness. And for awareness you need energy. Understand my point carefully. I am not making you anti-sex. I am talking about rising above sex. And only he can rise who has a ladder. You have burnt your ladder just to keep yourself warm. Now you stand there crying, asking, how do I go up? This nervousness within you, this lack of confidence, the fact that you cannot look people in the eye, the reason is not psychological. The reason is biological. Your roots have dried up. A tree whose roots have no water, its leaves will surely turn yellow. You are trying to paint the leaves green. You watch motivational videos. You read books on how to increase confidence. Listen, confidence is not something you find in a market. Confidence is the echo of the energy within you. When energy is overflowing within, confidence comes naturally. You don't have to call it. A lion never goes to a confidence class. His strength is his confidence. You have lost your strength. And now you live behind a mask in society. But behind this mask, there is a scared, tired human being. A person whose brain is no longer supporting them, who can't remember things, who is unable to do any deep thinking. For any great work, be it business, art or science, concentration is required. And concentration means all the energy gathering at one point. But your energy is like a leaking pot. No matter how much you fill, it will drain from the bottom. So first accept this, that whatever you have been doing until now was against yourself. This body is your temple, and you have made it a garbage dump. But it is still not too late. As long as there is breath, there is possibility. This science is so precise that if you turn in the right direction today, right now, your body will repair itself. Your brain will fill again with that fluid. The dryness will vanish. The fog will clear. But for that, you must understand the process. You must understand the alchemy that turns semen into Ojas. What is that alchemy? What is the science of rising upwards? It is not just about stopping. If you just stop and don't give it a path to go up, that energy will rot inside you. It will make you sick. This is why many people who practice celibacy without understanding become neurotic. They go crazy. Energy is not to be stopped. Energy is to flow. But not downwards, upwards. My dear soul, now we step into the journey that turns an animal into the divine. Until now, we spoke of how you are being robbed, how you are flushing your own wealth down the drains. Now we will talk about how to save that wealth, that energy. And listen, just saving it is not enough. It must be transformed. Because remember, simply stopping the energy is not enough. If you just block the water, build a dam, the water will rot. It will breed worms. Water must flow. If it does not flow downwards, it must flow upwards. Stagnation is death, and flow is life. The spine in the middle of your body, which we call the Merudand, it is not just a structure of bones. It is the greatest highway of your life. It is the path that connects hell to heaven, that connects the Mooladhara to the Sahasrara. Mooladhara, where your sex energy, your lust lies sleeping, like a coiled serpent. And Sahasrara, which is at the highest part of your brain, where the 1,000-petaled lotus of consciousness blooms. Science says that inside the spine there is a very fine channel. Doctors call it the spinal cord, but yoga calls it Susumna. This Susumna is the wire through which the electricity rises. When semen flows downwards, it creates the world. Children are born. But when this same semen this same energy rises as steam through the heat of tapas. It gives birth to the sleeping God within you. It gives birth to the Buddha within you. Understand this process very deeply. In the language of science, it is called sublimation. If you heat water, what does it become? It becomes steam. The nature of water is to flow downwards, but the nature of steam is to rise. Water can never go up by itself unless it becomes steam. In the same way, your lust, your semen, it is water. It will always flow downwards. No matter how much you try to stop it, no matter how many rules you bind it with, it will find a way down. And if you stop it by force, it will create distortions in your personality. You will become frustrated. You will be filled with anger. So what is the way? The way is not suppression. The way is not crushing it. The way is heat. The way is fire. Give that energy so much heat that the water turns into steam. And where will that heat come from? It will come from awareness. It will come from meditation. The sages of old called this tapas. Tapas does not mean standing on one leg in a forest. Tapas means creating heat within. When lust arises within you, when you feel the energy wanting to flow downwards, what do you do at that moment? You become unconscious. You flow away with that lust. You become mechanical, like a machine running. At that moment you have no awareness. Only a madness possesses you to throw this energy out. This is where you must bring a revolution. This is where you must become Urdhvaret. When lust arises, do not treat it as an enemy. Do not fight it. If you fight, you will lose. Because that energy is much bigger than you. It is the energy of nature. You don't have to fight it. You have to welcome it. Close your eyes and observe that energy. Just watch as a storm rises within. Just as you sit by the seashore and watch the waves. In the same way, watch the waves of lust rising within you. This watching, this witnessing is the fire. The moment you watch lust with awareness, a miracle happens. The energy that was desperate to go out, to go down, suddenly changes its path. Your watching gives it warmth. It gives it heat. And that semen, that energy, leaves its grossness and begins to become shatter. It begins to become steam. And because the Sushumna channel is there, that energy by itself, without any effort, begins to rise through the spine. You don't have to do anything. You don't need to put a pump. It is spontaneous. It is natural. As soon as water becomes steam, it rises towards the sky. As soon as semen becomes Ojas, it rises towards the brain. And when this energy reaches the brain, when it pierces through all the chakras of the spine and enters your head, then the event that takes place, the saints have called it the rain of nectar. There, in your brain, what science calls the pineal gland, and what yoga calls the Sivnetra or the third eye, there a friction occurs. This new energy, this fresh Ojas, when it hits the dry cells there, an explosion happens. An explosion of light, an explosion of bliss. A nectar begins to drip from within your head. This is not a poet's imagination. A yogi knows it by taste. It is sweet, sweeter than honey. When that nectar drips, your entire body, your entire being is drowned in an intoxication that is not found in any alcohol of this world. And then for the first time you realize what diamond you were selling for the price of pebbles. That little pleasure you got by falling down, the pleasure of raising that energy up is millions of times greater. But for this journey, you will have to make some changes in your lifestyle, in your everyday life. You cannot build a temple by eating garbage. Today I am going to give you some very practical formulas which you must apply in your life from today, from right now. The first formula: awaken towards your food. You are what you eat. As is the food, so is the mind. If you eat very spicy, very tamasic food, too much chili, garlic, onion, meat, alcohol, then you will never be able to raise this energy. Why? Because these things create agitation in the body. These things create heat in your blood. But that heat is not of tapas, it is of fever. These things strike the sex energy directly at the lower centers. When you eat very heavy food, all the body's energy is spent in digesting it and in handling that poison, and the agitation that is created, it compels you to run towards sex. A yogi's food is sattvic. Sattvic means light, easy to digest, and that which brings coolness to the body. Fresh fruits, green vegetables, milk, ghee, these things make your semen thick. And remember, what is thick is difficult to flush away. What is thin like water flows away through the smallest hole. The man of today who is eating fast food, food full of chemicals, his semen has become thin like water. That is why the capacity to hold it is gone. Night falls, premature ejaculation, these are all results of your wrong food. So from today, change your food. Purify it. Make it like an offering, a prasad. The second formula, fasting of thoughts. What are you filling your mind with 24 hours a day? What are your eyes seeing? What are your ears hearing? The whole of today's society, cinema, advertisements, everything is filling you with lust. Wherever you look, there is nudity. Wherever you look, there is provocation. If you watch images of lust 24 hours a day, then at night the dreams will be the same, and the energy will flow downwards. You must put a guard on your eyes. This does not mean you poke your eyes out or wear a blindfold. It means selection. You must choose what you allow to enter within you. Whenever such a scene appears, such a thought arises, do not grab it. Let it come like a guest and let it go. Do not serve it tea and snacks. What do? A lustful thought comes and we grab it and sit with it. We expend it in our imagination. We start playing with it. This is the biggest mistake. The coming of a thought is not in your hands, but catching it or letting it go, that is entirely in your hands. As soon as such a thought comes, shake yourself immediately. Take a long, deep breath. Straighten your spine and bring your attention to your breath. You will find that the thought came and went without touching you. The third formula, keep the spine straight. Have you ever noticed when you are sad, you slouch, your shoulders droop, the spine bends. And when you are filled with lust, even then you begin to slouch. An energetic person, an aware person always sits straight. The straightening of the spine is very important, because if the pipe is bent, how will the water climb up? If the pipe is bent, the flow will stop. As many times as you remember during the day, straighten your spine. As soon as you straighten your spine, you will suddenly find that the level of your consciousness has changed. You became more alert. You became more aware. And the person who is aware can never waste their energy. Waste always happens in unconsciousness. The fourth formula, preparation for the night. Most energy loss happens at night, in sleep, because in sleep you are unconscious. Old petals, old suppressed thoughts raise their heads in sleep. Therefore, the 45 minutes before sleeping are very precious. What do people do today? Lying in bed, they watch mobiles. They watch reels. They fill their minds with the world's garbage and fall asleep watching it. So all night the mind keeps rotating that garbage. Before sleeping, wash your feet with cold water. This is a very old and infallible remedy. The soles of the feet and the genitals have a very deep connection. By cooling the feet, the heat moves towards the head. Then sitting on the bed, straightening the spine for 10 minutes, just 10 minutes. Watch your incoming and outgoing breath, or listen to some calm music, or read the words of a great soul, so that you enter sleep in a high state, in a holy feeling. If you sleep in a prayerful state, in a meditative state, then all night that meditation will continue within you. Your sleep will also become yoga. And in the morning, you will wake up with such freshness, such power that you haven't felt since childhood. My friends, this body is a veena. If its strings are loose, it will produce out of tune music. If the strings are too tight, they will break. It has to be mastered. It has to be tuned. Semen and the brain are two sides of the same coin. On one side is creation, and on the other side is liberation. Now the choice is yours. Do not complain that the times are bad, that the environment is bad. The lotus blooms only in the mud. This Kalyug, this noise, this market of lust, all this is mud, and you are the lotus. You have to take nourishment from this mud, but bloom by rising above it. The day your energy, your Ojas, completely drench your brain, that day real memory will come to you. You will remember who you are. Right now, you have forgotten. You think of yourself as the body, as name and form. The day that chemical is complete, the curtain will fall. And you will find that you are not that which is born and dies. You are that eternal energy. You are that Brahman, which has no beginning and no end. This is the secret that your sages, your ancestors discovered. They did not experiment with test tubes in laboratories. They made their own bodies the test tube. They made their own consciousness the fire. And they found that the complete map of becoming God exists within man. So from today, from right now, take a resolution. This resolution is not for anyone else. It is for yourself. It is a resolution to recognize your own power. It is a resolution to come from scatteredness to the center. It is the resolution to go from death to immortality. In the beginning, there will be difficulty. Old habits will pull you. The body will demand. The mind will suffer. But do not be afraid. Every time you fall, stand up again. Every time you lose, do not start fighting again. Just wake up slowly as you taste this nectar, as that glow, that radiance begins to appear on your face. You yourself will not feel like going down. He who gets a diamond in his hand does not play with stones anymore. That diamond is within you. Find it, polish it, and make your life a celebration.
This is enough for today.